Hey, hold my hand. Put the vision board and the bullet journaling supplies down right now, okay? We need to chat. If you are just so ready to step into your YouTube era in 2026, but you've been feeling so down, so unmotivated, not even knowing if you'll ever get to a place again where YouTube feels fun, light, easy, creative, and you're in the flow state. You just need a little bit of a reset in order to get back to that place again. And yes, I promise you can get there. We can get there. So let's talk about how you can go from being a tryhard on YouTube to actually owning the platform with confidence and ease in 2026. First, we're going to dive into why YouTube has been feeling so heavy. Where does this feeling come from? And how do I start sparking the joy? Because I know it's in there. If YouTube has been feeling so heavy for you lately, you are likely approaching it in one or more of the following ways. I have notes. You're trying to be strategic before being expressive. You're trying to be impressive before being honest. And you're trying to be good before being yourself. And so when we really peel back and look at what the root of the issue is, in theory, you're not tired of creating. You're tired of performing for others. If you are constantly self-monitoring your speech, your posture, your tone of voice, if you're over-scripting yourself, you are performing. A lot of people will dress that up by being like, oh, but I just want to be a good teacher. I just want to be a good fill in the blank, right? I want to be a good creator. I want to be a good educator. I want to be a good speaker, authority, blah, blah, blah. And you know what's not going to make you a good speaker or any of those things? Over-policing yourself. This is where we shift from creating for the sake of joy, expression, our values, what's true to us, aligning with our goals and ourselves or our business, to now we're performing for the approval of ourselves, the approval of others, validation in the form of likes, views, comments, shares. Here's where that begins to create quiet burnout. Creating videos for YouTube is now something that you have to do, aka a chore, versus something that you actually want to do, aka creating from a place of joy, excitement to work towards your goals because you love talking about the topic. We're no longer doing it because of those things. Now we're performing. We're not an actress or actor, okay? People just want you to be you. They don't want you to put on an award-winning enemy performance. And you know what I'm trying to say right now. So we want to get to the place of joy, right? Where we want YouTube to be a joyful practice. I wrote that in little brackets where I was like, we want it to be joyful. So how do we get there? In order to be able to find joy in YouTube again, we need to figure out what habits are actually holding us back in the first place. Basically, there are two different types of gratification for our brains. You have instant gratification, and then you have delayed gratification. So basically, our brains are hardwired to take the path of least resistance, which is instant gratification. We're hardwired to dopamine scroll. We're hardwired to want to turn to ChatGPT to polish up our outlines for our YouTube videos instead of actually sitting down in silence away from our phones and any distractions and doing it ourselves with our brains, because that is the delayed gratification version. But the unfortunate part is that the instant gratification is usually the one that yields the sheer result, whereas the delayed gratification version, although yes, will take you longer, you will be slower at it, you're actually going to get a way better outcome from that. I know. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? I don't make the rules. I just follow them. And that's the thing too, right? All of the creators that you see online where it's like, here's how I make 5,000 videos in a day. They have a team. They have a full team behind them. They're making money where they have money to hire a contractor. Someone else is taking off the pressure somewhere else in their business, whether that's on the operation side, whether that's on the editing side, whether it's on the strategy side, the posting schedule side. Either some person or a team of people is behind that person, a financials and accounting person. A lot of these really big creators who are able to output this quality content and do so much of it and be in a good practice and a flow and a habit of doing it regularly is because they got the money to have the team behind them. And we're not there yet, but that's okay. It just means accepting where we're at right now and being patient with the fact that, yeah, our output is going to be slower because we don't have the resources to have a faster output. And yeah, we could get there one day if that is what we desire. If our goal is to output that level of content so often, we want it to kind of be more of a full-time thing. But the reality is you're just at a different stage of the journey. They'll go through seasons. And the important part is like just letting yourself flow through the seasons, not trying to force it, but being realistic about where you're at and what your capacity is and not shaming yourself because it doesn't look like someone else's because that's their journey, that's not yours. Now that we've identified the habits that hold us back, how do you actually stay motivated and consistent long after the initial motivation wears off? So, early on in your YouTube journey, you're likely fueled by novelty, excitement, maybe even early results or the dream of growth. But that fuel usually fades. And when it does, your brain switches from this is exciting to this is work. So then how do we keep the motivation alive when you're in the thick of it and everything just feels like a chore? The secret hack is understanding how motivation actually works. For humans, there's two main kinds of motivation. You have intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is when you're driven by external outcomes: money, views, numbers, growth, not falling behind, not wanting to lose motivation. And intrinsic motivation is when you're internally, at your core, motivated by the process itself. Basically, you're doing it for the love of the game. So here's a simple way to tell which one you're using. If what's motivating and driving you is fear of falling behind other creators, falling behind on the algorithm, falling behind growing to where you want to be, you're relying on extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation sounds a lot like I'm late, I can't stop, I'm losing momentum, I need to keep up. Intrinsic motivation is different. It sounds a lot like I'm excited to try something new. I can't wait to learn this new skill. I love having an outlet to be able to express myself and use my voice. One is driven by the fear of losing something, the other is driven by the interest in discovering something or expressing something about yourself. Instead of asking, how can I force myself to be more motivated? Try asking, what part of this could I do just for the sake of it? For some people, it's the craft, getting better at storytelling, editing, or communicating things more clearly. For some, it's identity, being the kind of person that follows through on something that they care about. And for some, it's meaning, feeling like what they actually make matters to them, even if no one sees it yet. There's no one right answer, but there is a right answer for you. And it might be a combination of things. So, the last piece of this is how do we actually find the joy in YouTube again, where we see it as something that fills our cup instead of something that feels like a chore or a drain on our mind, body, soul, and spirit? Prioritizing creating a safe and positive mindset around how you view yourself in relation to YouTube as a whole will make showing up consistently easier, especially because it's going to happen when things don't go to plan and you begin to run into challenges. Your light will turn off in the middle of filming because it loses battery. Your camera will die. Your SD card will. Maybe you accidentally forgot to press the record button, or your SD card gets corrupted and you lose all that beautiful footage where, oh, I was just on a roll. I was on a roll and I'm never going to deliver it that good again. Well, guess what? You're going to have to. You're going to have to. So you might as well enjoy doing it and enjoy every version of you that creates the video and it turning out how it's meant to. Putting that pressure on yourself it's a form of using up energy, and energy is precious. It's not infinite. We don't have a lot of it. So put that energy into actually having the conversation with your camera and finding joy in like creating the video and less about worrying about what it's going to look like at the end, because that's a waste of your energy. And that's where you're going to end your film days feeling so drained. You're going to dread every single second of editing it and looking at yourself because you don't have any cute, fun editing thing that you want to try out. There's not like a cute little like B-roll sequence you wanted to do. You didn't get creative with like maybe the intro or something. There wasn't something that, you didn't interject any play into the video. You got to interject some play. And if you don't know what that looks like for you, well, think about how do you like to show, to be fun, to be silly, to be goofy? Could be something serious, whatever, but for me, it'll probably be something funny because I'm a little goofball. It could be different every single video, but however you can make the video more fun and easy for you, do it. And the other key piece that I feel like not enough people touch on in detail is that positive self-talk is so critical to this as well, because psychologically, we avoid what feels unsafe, what feels threatening, what feels stressful. So if while we're going through our YouTube workflow, we are constantly negatively self-talking to ourselves, oh, I'm not saying that good enough. Oh, is that concise? Did that even make sense? Oh, like I'm slurring my words or I'm stuttering or I forgot the line or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Does that feel good or does that feel stressful? When you're shaming yourself, you're being negative. So you're turning the workflow and the activity of running your YouTube channel, creating YouTube videos into a negative experience. So if your brain is associating it as a negative experience, oh, you just gotta try harder. Oh, you just gotta be more disciplined. Come on, show up, girl. Grit. Put your I just kicked this something. Stick your feet in and get to work. Get grit. Rah. Like that rah rah, push through. Like don't be a crybaby kind of mentality. Sorry, that's not gonna help you show up. And if that's what you've been trying and you're not showing up, like, babe, I'm not surprised. Positive self-talk doesn't mean that we are avoiding reality. It just means that we're not being an asshole to ourselves so that this space is, a little bit more joyous to be in. And, plot twist, when you are in a joyous mood, when you have a nice, joyous space that you are speaking in, surprise, surprise, like you're in a better mood, like the words are flowing a little better, you're feeling a little more conversational, a little more smiley, a little bit more pep in your step because you are being nice to yourself. You're not being a bitch to you, okay? By keeping what's in your control as positive as possible, over time, you are rewiring your brain and your experience to associate that task with something that's positive, light, joyful, energy giving instead of energy draining. And so it starts to become easier to push through and continue to show up in those times where you are tempted to procrastinate, put it off for another day, another week, what's another month, whatever, and fall off of the habit or the bandwagon of posting consistently on YouTube, even though your long-term goal and, end game is, no, I want to be consistent on YouTube because X, Y, or Z. So that is all I have for you today. If you are feeling a little bit lighter, a little bit inspired, a little bit hopeful, like you can do this, you can come out on the other side, then my work is done. I really hope, even if you aren't feeling on top of the world and like you can tackle everything, I hope that it at least got you really deeply think about how you show up for yourself and how you think about yourself in relation to YouTube as a platform. Because what's really going to help you go the distance with YouTube is not consistently creating content for the algorithm or for the sake of trying to go viral or hit it big. It's going to be creating content with intention that you are proud of, that you stand behind, that feels and sounds and looks like you and not a character that you're trying to play. If you enjoyed this video, obviously, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell, do all the things, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!